Hey guys, welcome to the Leadership Game podcast. This is our episode 5 on the Leadership Game podcast. Today I have a very wonderful human being, a great man in his own rights. In fact, we call him the Odogu of customer service. And that means, for those who probably don't know the meaning of Odogu, it means the chief. I'll let him explain that in a minute, but it means the chief, the king of customer service. And that's because he has a passion to see organizations flourish when it comes to customer services. And he's a great guy based in Nigeria, in the city of Warri. And today I have the privilege and honor of having him here as my guest on this game. We'll call it a game, leadership game, because it's a game that we all have to learn to win. Because leadership, it's a long thing. It's a long game, and if you don't know how to operate as a leader, if you don't know what true leadership is about, you end up you miss the point, you miss the mark in it, because there's a whole lot when it comes to leadership. So this podcast is about exploring the simplicity, the simplest things about leadership, and also we understand that there's a complex area of leadership. And so from time to time, I'll be bringing wonderful guests so we can talk about leadership, so you and I can walk away stronger, knowing who we are, fulfilling our purpose as leaders, making a difference in the lives of the people that come around us as leaders and as true leaders. So I have the greatest pleasure of introducing Dr. Segun Manuel. Dr. Segun, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me, Kelvin. I'm happy to be here. Always excited to see you and always excited to be with you. Been a long time though, but good to be back with you today.
Fantastic. Thank you. I know it's been a while. We did a gig 3 years ago at the Wisdom Summit?
Wisdom Summit. It was during, I think immediately after COVID started. It was somewhere around
2020,
there.
wasn't it? Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Wow. Long time.
Yes.
Thank you for accepting the invitation to be here. I know that you're a busy man, and we don't take this lightly at all. We appreciate your time. We call you the chief, the Odogu. Correct me. Was I right?
The Odogu of customer service. That's is in simple terms is the customer service king.
Oh,
why they call me that is because in Nigeria today, I think I'm not blowing my own trumpet, but I would like to say that I'm the leading pioneer in customer service trainings in Nigeria today. You know that in Africa, one of our challenges is not knowing what to do with customers. And so we need people to be able to teach and show the way on how to handle customers right. The fulcrum of every business is customers, and the lifeblood of that business is customer service. If your customer service is not right, then there's no blood in your business, right? When people say customers are the life of a business, yes, we agree, customers are the life of a business, but then customer service is the blood in that life, is the lifeblood of the business. And so every business needs to get their customer service right. And that's why I'm in the game. And that is what my passion is. That's been my drive since after the COVID. And it has been awesome. People are excited. People want to know. People want to learn. People want to improve their service delivery so that customers are not just attracted, but also retained to lead to success in their businesses. You know, the sweet thing about customer service is not limited to businesses. Even as leaders, you must learn how to deal with people who are your followers. In that line now, those are your customers. Even as a father, you must learn to deal with your wife. You must learn to deal with your children. Those are your customers. And if you must treat them well, that means you must get your customer service right. There's a way you talk to madam. There's a way you talk to your wife that will make her want to stay in the marriage. There's a way you talk to her that will make her say that I'm tired of this marriage. There's a way you talk to your children and they're excited to come home. There's a way you talk to them, you make the home become a theater of anguish. So customer service goes beyond everywhere. And if you take it to religion, as a pastor, there's a way you talk to your members that will make them keep coming over and over again to find succor in your church. It's the way you talk to them and you chase everybody away. So in all facets of life, customer service is embedded, is the bedrock, is the foundation, is the origin, is the fulcrum to make relationships succeed. And life generally is about relationships, right?
mm, mm,
Which
mm,
brings us
mm,
to what we are going to talk about today on
mm,
leadership.
mm,
Let me not
mm.
get ahead
Yeah.
of myself.
This is so true, Shagu. I mean, I completely agree with you that, the life of a business is its customers. A lot of people
True.
get it wrong. Some people just pass it on to a customer service manager. You deal with the customers, and we see that happen from time to time. It's fact, as a matter of fact, how we treat the customers is how we treat our staff, isn't it?
Sure.
Mm,
So,
mm,
how you treat your staff is how they in turn treat your customers. When
mm.
we teach customer service, we look at there are two types of customer service: is
Come on.
internal customer service and external customer service.
Mm,
Internal is what happens in your organization, and what
mm.
happens in your organization amongst your staff, within
Yeah,
your staff,
yeah.
will be what they will multiply and give to
Hey,
external customers, who are people who are buying from you. So,
wow.
if your internal customer service is not right, if there's rancor, if there's bad blood, if
Yeah,
there's antagonism, if
yeah.
there's what's the other word now, if there's negativity
Mm,
coming internally in your organization, you
mm,
cannot expect your staff to
mm.
give positivity to customers when what you are giving them is wrong. So,
Wow.
as a business leader, as a business owner, you must ensure that that thing you want your company, that culture you want your company to deliver to customers externally,
Mm,
is a culture you must embed in your
mm.
system.
Come
Because
on
when
now.
that culture is embedded, it
Mm,
becomes a way of life. And that way
mm,
of life is what they now replicate. Many times,
mm,
the culture in our organization is bad, but
mm,
we expect you cannot give
mm.
A and expect B. You cannot
Wow.
expect what you have not given, right?
Wow.
So in
Wow.
every organization, that culture first must, be
Mm.
there for us to be able to deliver properly to customers. It
Wow.
involves our processes. We must
Wow.
remember that when we're talking
Mm.
about customer service, it's not
Yeah.
just in the product, it's not
Yeah.
just in the service you are giving, but the processes around it.
Mm,
Yes, there's
mm.
so much to talk about that, but
Wow.
let's
You know
move on.
what? I'm amazed. I'm amazed. I've never ever thought about it this way. You just shifted my awareness now in understanding how the dynamics play, because I bring a lot of people. We talk here about the first chap I interviewed talked about heart-centered leadership, about letting a heart rule when you deal with your staff, how you relate with them, thinking about them more, creating that strong relationship. Now what you're saying to me is you do that and that transpires to the customers.
True. You
Wow.
must do it with your staff. You see,
Wow.
leadership is not just about talking.
Wow.
Leadership is in, how they say it in Nigeria:
Mm,
don't do what I say,
mm,
do what I do.
mm.
So, your children as a father, your
Yeah.
staff as a boss,
Mm,
would easily do what you do
mm.
than do what you say.
Come on
When
now.
you say, do what I say, it's hard to replicate because you said it,
Mm.
but they are not seeing an example. But when they do what you do, they have
Yeah.
seen the example, so it's easy for them to do. So when
Yeah.
you treat them right in the
Wow.
organization, in your
Wow.
organization, they have seen it, they have experienced it. So it's
Mm,
easy for them to do
mm.
it.
Wow.
So whatever
Wow.
it is you want to do for the customer, whatever it is you want your organization to
Mm,
represent to the customer,
mm.
go first and do it to your staff.
Wow.
It,
Wow. Wow.
it's engraved in their mind that, oh, this is how we operate.
Mm.
There was a time where there was that handband on what would Jesus do, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if you remember. There was
Yeah. I
that time
remember
where
that.
WWJD, I
WWJD.
think. What would Jesus do? So at every time, same thing for you who is the owner of the organization or the boss in charge.
Mm.
Your staff are always thinking, what will the boss do?
Wow. Wow. Wow.
And it calls for you to judge yourself and say, what
Mm.
have I been doing in front of my staff that they
Mm.
can do in my absence? If they
Mm.
ask, what will the boss do?
Mm.
See,
Mm.
you cannot insult customers in their absence
Mm.
and in the
Mm.
presence of your staff and
Wow.
expect the staff to not insult the customers in their presence when you are absent.
Jeez. Jeez. In
I
their
said something
presence.
now. You didn't insult
Wow.
them in their presence. You didn't insult the
Mm.
customer in the presence of the customer. You insulted the customer in the absence of the customer, but in the
Yeah.
presence of your
The
staff.
staff.
The
Mm.
staff will take it and insult the customers in their presence while
Wow.
you are absent.
Wow. Oh my God. Oh my world. This is a pin drop moment.
Mm. So you must
Oh
be very
my
careful at
word.
every time.
Mm.
Must be very careful as a leader. You know, we're talking about leadership here,
Yeah,
right?
come on now.
And I'm
Yes.
linking this to customer service.
Mm.
See,
Mm.
in this game, you must lead from the top.
Mm.
Customer service is not limited to the role customer
Mm.
service officer. Or you see, customer
Mm.
service is everybody's business, from
Come
the
on
guy
now.
producing the
Mm.
product
Mm.
to the person who is selling it to the end consumer. You
Mm.
see, when the person who's selling to the end consumer, if he's customer conscious and is
Mm.
customer centric, he will
Mm.
hear the complaints the customer has about the product. He will
Wow.
pass it to the system. The
Mm-hmm.
system will pass it to the point of production.
Mm.
Brands that outlive
Mm.
their time and
Mm.
outlive their peers are
Mm.
brands that listen to the customers
Come on.
and then rework their processes and products in line
Wow.
with what the customers need. That is leadership.
Wow.
Where there's a lack of leadership is where the customer is saying something else, and at
Mm.
the end game, the organization is not listening and
Mm.
producing something else different from what the customer is saying. So the
Mm.
customer is here, the
Mm.
organization is here.
Mm. Mm.
But
Mm.
if there is leadership, you will see that congruent, where what the
Together.
customer is saying they want is what they
Mm.
are delivering to the customer, and the customer becomes excited that
Mm.
this organization is listening to me and
Mm.
that we are together. At that point, they form a synergy with you and it becomes a marriage. Even when
Wow.
you make a mistake as an organization at this point where the customer sees that you are listening to them, they don't care anymore. They know
Wow.
that when it gets to time, when you have the opportunity, you will correct it. That's leadership.
Wow. 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 Listen, we've got 10 minutes in, 11 minutes into it already, and you literally just made a huge made a huge insight to my life. And I'm pretty sure to those who are going to be watching and listening, this is powerful, Dr. Shego. And I'm curious to find out more about you. Why customer service? What made you become so passionate about ensuring this change as from an organization's point of view, how we see customers? Why?
So I'll be sincere with you. So prior to COVID, I was
Mm.
doing entrepreneurship training. Generally, I wasn't niching. I wasn't focusing on
Mm.
any niche area. I was just
Mm.
doing customer service training. I was just doing, sorry, entrepreneurship training for businesses in Nigeria. And COVID hit, like all of us,
Mm.
everybody needed to pivot.
Yeah.
And what happened to me was I went back to God. Yeah.
Mm.
Leadership.
Mm.
There is no leadership that takes away the place of the supreme being,
Mm.
because every leadership
Mm.
emanates from God.
Come on now,
And
talk to me.
if you remove that from your leadership, then you would have removed the crust of
Mm.
what leadership is about. So I
Mm.
went back to God to say,
Mm.
yeah, so you told me to do this, see what's happening now, look at
Mm.
what's happening in the world, where do I
Mm.
go from here? And I started something like this too on
Mm.
StreamYard. I was,
Okay.
having interviews with people. I think we
Mm.
had an interview together at
Yeah,
that
yeah,
time.
we did. Yeah.
Yes, we did. We had an I was doing all of that, and then I was still praying and asking God towards the direction. And then when COVID was almost finishing, I think 2022, when it was the whole thing had died down,
Mm.
he said to me, he said, teach customer service.
Wow.
Meanwhile, prior to COVID, I still have that channel. Oh.
Mm.
I still have that.
Great.
I still have
You
that.
were like the StreamYard beginners, isn't it? You were
Yes,
on it.
yes, I was on it first. Yes,
Early
in fact,
adopters. That's what we should say.
I was early adopters. I'm sure you used my link. You
I
used my link to
did. I
get it.
did. To be fair, I only
Fantastic.
just started streaming at this term, this year. But you've been way back.
Way back, man. So I had this Twitter handle
Mm.
that collated customer service complaints around Nigeria. If you
Wow.
are a Nigerian, if you have been in Nigeria, if you have associated with Nigeria, you will know that one of our major challenges is people don't know how these things are done. In
Wow.
saner climes, there's an understanding, there are procedures,
Mm.
there are rules, there are laws that
Mm.
guard all of these things.
Mm.
Unfortunately, in our climb, these things don't happen. So we had this um, a Twitter handle that put pressure on organizations to answer
Mm.
customers when they complain. So it's
Mm.
called Complaint Box NG. People go
Right.
there to complain. Oh, I had this problem with this brand. I had this problem with this
Mm.
organization, and they are not
Mm.
responding to me. And we
Mm.
start tweeting them and
Wow.
copying the relevant agency
Mm.
that is responsible for monitoring that industry or that
Okay.
yeah. So
Right. Okay.
if it's banking, we'll copy
Mm.
CBN to, if it's anything that has to do with products, we'll copy Standard Organization of Nigeria.
Regulators.
If
Mm.
yes, every
Mm.
regulator, yes,
Mm.
exactly. Every
Mm.
regulator will copy them to put pressure on the organization to deliver to the customers. We're doing that free of charge. And when
Wow.
that time came when I was praying, the Holy Spirit was like, this is what you should do. You have, and I can tell you that thing made waves. People were, it was
Wow.
really active. I don't have the time and space
Mm.
anymore to do all of that. So I
Mm.
left it.
Mm.
But then told me, he said, go and teach organizations what to do about customer service.
Wow.
Strangely, a lady called me. I was complaining about
Mm.
her her staff, that
Mm.
if she gets a customer service trainer, she would
Mm.
pay for her 3 staff. I said, I
Wow.
am just thinking of doing it. She said, my 3 staff are
Wow.
um your first attendees. How much do you charge? I just
Wow.
called an amount, and
Mm.
she said, send me account details. So
Wow.
even before I prepared, even before I did it, I knew it was God, man. I said, this is God. I shared
Wow.
with somebody else, was like, wow, that's good. Oh,
Mm.
my first class was, I had almost 50 people in the class.
Wow. Wow.
Everyone paid because it was never done. They have never seen it before. So I
Mm.
started building on that. Remember is an
Mm.
instruction. Go
Mm.
and teach on customer service. Remember, I talked about
Mm.
the lateral, is it
Mm.
lateral now or vertical? Your
Mm-hmm.
relationship with
Yeah.
God, very
Yeah.
important as a leader, because you
Mm.
can't lead people if you are not led.
Mm. Come on now. Come on now. Come on
It
now.
takes a led to
Mm.
lead.
Come on now. Talk to me. Talk
Oh,
to me. Talk to me.
you must be led to be
Mm.
able to lead
Mm.
rightly.
Mm.
Many people do not want to be led, but want to lead others. If you have not been a follower, you
Come on now.
cannot be a good
Come on now.
leader,
Come
because
on.
you do not understand what it takes to follow. You do not have the empathy, which was something we talked about in customer service.
Yeah.
You do not have the empathy for following, because you do not know.
There
Empathy is
is.
putting yourself in another
Mm.
man's shoe. For you to
Mm.
be able to know how to lead people as a leader, you must
Mm.
put yourself in the shoes of the follower. So you must have followed to know
Mm.
how it means to follow.
Come on now. Come
Oh
on now.
boy.
I love
Oh
that.
boy.
I love
You
that.
cannot lead until you have been led, right?
Mm.
Cannot
Mm.
lead except you are being led. So
Mm.
um he led me to say, go do customer service. And
Mm.
I can tell you, bro, it's not by
Mm.
my works, even though I work. It's not by
Mm.
my works.
Mm.
It's not by my
Mm.
expertise, even though
Mm.
I try to see how I've gotten certifications
Mhm.
on customer service. I've done
Mm.
training. I was named West Africa's top trainer in 2022.
Wow.
Remember, I started
Yeah.
almost end
Mm.
of 2021, 2020, and
Yeah.
as of 2022, I was named West
Wow.
Africa's top trainer in customer service by the
Wow.
West African Association of Customer Service Professionals. Right?
Wow.
I've gotten
Wow.
several certifications and
Come on
backings.
now. Talk to me.
Remember, I said,
Mm.
even though I'm being led, I got expertise. I can tell
Mm.
you it's not by my expertise, right?
Mm. Mm.
Because I'm following the leading. If you
Mm.
follow instructions, you will
Mm.
avoid destructions.
Mm.
I'll say that again. If you follow instructions,
Come
you
on
will
now.
avoid
Come on
destructions.
now.
Yeah.
Come on now.
So
Yeah.
I
I
follow
love
this
it.
instruction, do customer
Love it.
service. I
Mm.
went, got expertise, but I rely on him solely, even though I'm
Mm.
trained.
Yeah.
Education is key, is
Mm.
important.
Mm.
Even though I'm doing all of these things, I'm online every day, I'm selling
Mm.
myself, I'm giving
Mm.
stuff, I'm doing
Mm.
stuff, joining groups, having my trainings. I
Mm.
still rely on him. If he says
Mm.
pivot here,
Mm.
it's better to follow instructions than
Mm.
to struggle on your own.
Come on now. Come on now.
Instructions make it easy to win.
Come on now. Come on now.
Mhm.
I love it. I
So
love it.
got into all of that, and
Mm.
today I can tell you I've done training across everywhere. You see, my clientele comes from people I've never met. Some
Wow.
of my biggest trainings come. Someone reached out to me in Dubai the other day. They want me to
Mm.
train hospital staff. I've
Mm.
trained for everybody. There's everybody. I've trained for every sector. Trained
Wow.
guys in the bank. I've trained financial sector. I've
Mm.
trained I've trained communication sector. I've trained for
Wow.
MTN. Trained
Wow.
for the biggest of the guys. I've trained
Mm.
for them just
Mm.
because I'm following instructions.
Mm. I
If they
love
want
it.
to name those who are doing stuff, the
Mm.
city I am in is not an A city. Neither is
Mm.
it a B city. It's not a second.
Come
It's not
on.
a primary city. Neither
Come
is it
on.
a secondary city. If they want to
Come on.
name cities in Nigeria,
Mm.
I mean, like a tertiary city, right?
Mm.
But then from that tertiary city, people tell me like, "Are you serious? You were even asking me.
Yeah.
I thought you were." That's what it takes to follow instruction, leadership.
Mm, I love that. Now you talk about the part I want to go next in, because obviously you're talking about leadership. You're being led. I love the fact that you talk about that. So what's your perspective on true leadership? As you're aware, there's leadership and there's true leadership. And
Mm.
it sounds like we're reading from the same book. Can I ask you, what is your perspective on true leadership? Hmm,
So I think I mentioned a little about that already now.
hmm,
So
hmm,
there's leadership. Yes, you
hmm,
want to lead people, but
hmm,
true leadership is one who has gone through the process to be
hmm,
able to lead. For you, you know that everything rises and falls on leadership, and the
hmm,
people cannot rise beyond the level of the lead.
hmm,
There's
hmm.
what's called the law of the lead.
Come on
The
now.
people can only go as high as their leaders are. So
Hmm,
for a leader, for you to go very high, you must go
hmm.
very low first.
Come
You
on
must
now.
go deep
Hmm,
to go high.
hmm,
You must
hmm,
take roots downwards
hmm,
to bear fruit upwards.
What do
I'll
you
say that
mean by
again.
that? Talk to
You
me.
must
Hmm,
take roots downwards to
hmm,
be able to bear fruit upwards. Your roots must be really deep.
hmm,
And part of being deep is you must be humble. You must
hmm,
be ready to learn.
hmm,
You must be empathetic. You
hmm,
must be, which
hmm,
other word? You must be meek. You
hmm,
know,
hmm,
Christ our Lord, who is our Savior.
hmm,
I'm a Christian, by the way. So,
hmm.
one of the most essential qualities that he was mentioned of him is his meekness.
Hmm, hmm,
You cannot go very far if you are not meek. As a
hmm.
leader, many of the leaders who we have today are leaders who want to exert force on
Come
their
on.
people and
Come
not
on.
being meek. So
Come
true
on.
leadership is meekness.
Hmm.
True leadership, Jesus Christ said it is service. Who is the leader? Is the one
Hey.
amongst us who is ready to serve,
Right.
right? And you
Right.
cannot serve except you are meek. So true
Hmm.
leadership is what takes you to bear root
Hmm.
downwards so that you can bear fruit
Upwards.
upwards.
Hmm.
Because
Hmm.
true leadership is willing to go where others are not willing to go, and
Hmm.
willing to go farther than where others are willing to go.
Hmm.
Yeah. If
Wow.
you the one of the reasons why Ronaldo stood out
Hmm.
was that after training, he had how many extra hours of training by himself
Hmm.
as a leader. In
Wow.
the heydays of JJ Okocha, one of Nigeria's finest footballers up till date,
Hmm.
he said after everybody finished training, he
Hmm.
had his own personal ball juggling time.
Wow.
Ask
Wow.
any of the greats in the world today, ask anyone who is a leader, you
Hmm.
will discover that while others are closing 4 p.m.,
Hmm.
he's spending extra hours
Hmm.
learning.
Hmm.
The reason why there's first world, third world, and second world today is that the first world people
Hmm.
are doing extra than what the third world people are doing.
Hmm.
The first world people are paying attention, they are
Hmm.
being empathetic, they
Hmm.
are being attentive, they are being cautious about their customers
Hmm.
than what the third world is doing. So it's no, it's not,
Hmm.
it's not hard and fast through while
No.
there's leadership and then there's true leadership.
I love it. I love
Leadership
it.
can be entrusted on you,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
true leadership comes by your working.
Come on
You
now.
don't need to have a title. Yeah, leadership we would give you the title. He's our leader. But
Yeah.
true leadership, even when the title is not there,
Come on
the
now.
man naturally,
Hmm.
walks into that. That is true leadership. And
Wow.
it's just around all the things that we have talked
Wow.
about right now.
Wow. Wow. Amazing stuff. Amazing. Dr. Segun, this is mind blowing. This is great. This is like we just read from the same book. I love the fact that you say you have to go down to go up. And what you mean by going down, you're emphasizing meekness, empathy, customer service, that ability to remove the ego or the narcissism, to remove all of
Yes.
that's about me, but realizing that it's not just about that. It's about how low can I get? How much how much closer can I get to my people? How much closer can I get to the people that really matter and really be of great service? to bring this leadership game. I love it. I love it. I love it. And, as a leader, one of the problems that we have is, again, you said it. You said it at the beginning anyway. Fostering positivity, the right attitude. Because when we're not,
Yes.
it's about what happens when we're not even there, isn't it?
True.
It's about what happens when we're not in the room. How do the people that we train or we lead operate? So how can we foster great positive attitude in an organization from your perspective?
So they asked Mahatma Gandhi,
Hmm.
why don't you read a script when you speak? He
Hmm.
said, because I don't have to think about what I want to say. What I
Hmm.
live is what I
Hmm.
do.
Ay, 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 ay.
So to foster great leadership, that example just suffices.
Hmm.
Let your yea be
Hmm.
yea and your nay be nay. Don't let what you do in the hidden be different from what you do in the open.
Wow.
Let what we know you for in the open be what you do in the hidden. So that your life, you don't have to think about what you are doing. What you do
Wow.
everywhere is what you do everywhere.
Wow.
Even if what you do everywhere is bad, let everybody know you are this. Let it be known that this is you,
Wow.
right? So the best way
Wow.
to foster leadership is being,
Hmm.
and there's a word for it now,
Hmm.
being authentic.
Hmm.
Whether it's authentically good or authentically bad, just be authentic.
Wow. Wow.
And I think that answers that question.
Yeah, it does. It does. It does. Absolutely. Be authentically good. What I live is what I say.
Yes.
Whether you're good or you're bad, just be
Whether it's in the
you.
morning, whether it's in the evening, whether it's yesterday, whether you're in America,
Wow.
wherever it is,
Wow.
let your truth
And
be your truth.
and
Your yea be your yea.
one of the diseases. I read a book by John C. Maxwell. It says one of the diseases of leadership. It's leadership schizophrenia, where we are completely different people in different places.
True.
It's oh man, I see that happen all the time. We could have I could be telling you great stuff. Next moment I see someone else, I'm completely different. And that happens a lot. And that's where even the people with lead get confused. They get
True.
confused. They don't know how to show up. They don't know whether you're in a good mood or in a bad mood.
They don't know how to deal with you per time because
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
who
yeah.
you were in the morning is different from who you are in the evening.
Wow.
Mm.
Wow. 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 So true leadership is what I live is what I say. Find me in the morning, you still hear what I say. Find me in the evening, find me any
True.
day of the time. I'm
Every time
still
of the
me.
day.
I'm still me.
True.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Wow.
Yes.
I love that.
You
I
don't you
love
don't have
that.
to find out my opinion now. My opinion yesterday
Hmm.
is still my opinion today. I don't
Wow.
have to you
Wow.
don't have to confirm or cross check.
Wow. I think that fosters trust as well, would you say, even with customers?
Exactly. Exactly.
Mm,
Exactly.
mm, even our
Exactly.
customers can depend on our brand, what we're trying to produce, because they know that we're who we say we are.
And that's it behoves on integrity.
Come on now.
Men
Come on.
of integrity are in high demand but in
Come
short
on.
supply. And if you did a
Wow.
little of economics, you know that when something is in high demand and short supply,
Mm,
the price becomes very high.
mm. Wow. I'm just writing
The
that
price
down
becomes
now.
very high.
Wow.
Men of integrity, short supply, but in high demand.
Mm,
And once you can
mm,
correct that and
mm,
provide integrity,
mm,
that's what's integrity. Simple. We just said
mm,
it. Let
mm,
your yes be your yes in the morning, in the
mm,
afternoon, in the evening. In
mm,
America and USA, in
mm.
Nigeria, your yes is yes, your no is no.
Wow.
Simple.
Wow.
You don't
Wow.
have to. You don't have to. You don't have to read from a script
Wow.
because you wrote something that you want to say. No, you say your life, and
Mm,
your life is the your
mm,
authenticity.
mm, mm. Love that. Love that. Again,
Yeah.
going over to the customer's point of view, because again, we're talking about fostering that trust. What is, you've explained that at the beginning, but again, this is a question I have on my notes here about exploring the correlation, how leadership and customer service go hand in hand.
Mm.
Can you talk to us about that?
Okay.
Hmm,
Just a
hmm,
minute.
hmm,
Okay. So leadership and customer service. I know I mentioned quite a few things here
hmm,
on
hmm,
how we need to run around that because You can't do customer service without leadership, and
Mm.
you can't do leadership without being conscious of the customer. So the two go pari passu.
Wow.
Every leader must be customer centric,
Come on now.
right? If you
Come
are not customer centric, what do I mean customer centric? If you are a leader, you're leading people, you
on.
must be people centric, right?
Wow.
Those people are
Yeah.
your customers. You are
Mm.
here to remember leadership is not
Mm.
about lording over people.
Mm.
Leadership is about service. Remember,
Mm. Mm.
service. You are
Mm.
serving.
Mm.
So if you
Mm.
know that you are serving, then who are you serving? People.
Hey.
So you are servicing people who are your customers. So that's
Mm.
customer service.
Yeah.
So every leader must be conscious about the people they are
Mm.
leading,
Mm.
and then know that these people you are leading are human beings. And one thing about human beings is that they have emotions and they
Mm.
have feelings,
Mm.
and they need their feelings to be pampered and
Mm.
rubbed so
Mm.
that they can continue doing the things they will do. So if you are a leader and you say, "Oh, you're not customer centric," then
Mm.
there is a problem. I know that there'll be a problem in the organization that you're leading. I know there'll be a problem amongst the people you're leading if you are not customer minded.
Mm.
You cannot
Mm.
be a leader if there are no people you are leading.
Come on now. Come on now. Come on now.
And you
Come on
cannot
now.
have a people if you are not treating them right. They will leave you.
Right. Come on
So
now.
without customer service, a leader ceases to be a leader because there's nobody he will
Mm.
be leading.
Mm. Nobody is seven.
Yes, nobody's serving.
I love that.
Without customer service, you cannot be a leader there because
Come
there
on.
will be nobody you'll be leading.
Come on now. Come on now. And then, so how do we get people in the organization, people who we are leading, to think this way? Because a lot of people think as followers and not as leaders. And when we understand that leadership is service, customer service, how can we as leaders train our people to think like that way? What is your response to that?
So everyone is a leader.
Hmm.
Everyone.
Come on.
Whether you are the gates man,
Hmm.
whether you are the shop boy,
Hmm.
whether you are the guy at the front desk, you are a
Hmm.
leader. In your space, you are a leader. And one
Come
of
on.
the mistakes we suffered as Africans growing up is
Hmm.
because we didn't have this mentality that we are leaders. So we
Hmm. Hmm.
always looked up to someone else. We
Yeah.
always abscond from the
Hmm.
responsibility. We always pushed it up to someone. I'm not the leader. Somebody else. Who told you you are the
Hmm.
leader? Two
Hmm.
of us here are leaders. What we are
Hmm.
prescribing right here, right now,
Hmm.
is something that
Hmm.
can change the world,
Come
can
on now.
change the business space.
Come on now.
Because we are taking responsibility. Who's a leader? The one who is responsible.
Hmm.
Every one of us is supposed to be taking responsibility in our different spaces. The
Hmm.
more you take responsibility, the more leadership is on you, and the more you can actually change things.
Hmm.
So, whatever role you are playing in your organization, you are a leader. And for
Hmm.
every leader, like we have said, you
Hmm.
must pay attention to people you are leading, pay
Come on.
attention to customer
Hmm.
service. Because if you
Wow.
don't pay attention to customer service as a leader, there
Hmm.
will be nobody, very soon, there will be
Hmm.
nobody you are leading, and then your leadership will be a waste.
Wow. Wow. I love this. I love this, mate. Dr. Manuel, I really, really love this. I really want to say thank you. Thank you. This has been awesome. This has been awesome. And you've changed my mind. It's not because I never, ever think about people, but now I see leadership bigger in terms of customer service, in terms of how I treat my people is how they're going to treat my clients, my
True,
customers. That's
true.
completely changed my mind, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be news for a lot of people. For them to recognize that even if you have things that you have to say about a customer, be careful not to say that in front of your
In
staff.
front of your staff, true.
Wow, wow, because they could take it away, and because they're trying to support you,
Mm,
and completely go in front of your customer and completely bring down the company down.
true,
Cheers. Cheers.
true.
I really love this. I'm really I see the reason why I'm doing this podcast now. Every time I bring in people in here, everyone is talking about people centric, customer centric, heart centered. It's not about you as a leader. It's about the
Mm,
people that you're serving. It's about the people that you're leading. And now, one of the main objectives is again to help people see themselves as leaders. And you've just said that. And I think that is so powerful that if you're listening and watching this today or on the replay, is to recognize your leadership position. And sometimes you walk into organizations and you ask for something and you want something done, and they say, "Oh, it's not me, it's someone else. Oh, it's not me, it's
yeah.
someone else. I'm not here." I see
Mm,
that happen. I saw that happen last week. Oh, sorry, it's not
strange.
me. I'm not here, and I'm sat there waiting for whoever is supposed to attend to
Mm,
me, and nobody cared. Nobody cared to hello, can you help me? Oh, sorry, not me, not me. Oh, my
Yeah.
time's off now. It's not me.
Yeah.
So who? That
Nobody's taking
again,
responsibility.
come on, mate. That's going back again to the leadership.
Yes, sir.
Wow. Dr. Mano, how can people reach out to you, reach out to learn more about your work?
Fantastic. So we're doing so much right now. We have a website that we just put up now, smogvillesolutions .com.ng. But
Hmm,
then on social media, which is now the the ears and mouths and voices of the people,
hmm,
my handle is at Segun Manuel. So everywhere,
hmm,
LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok,
hmm,
anywhere that is anywhere, you can
hmm.
see me at Segun Manuel is at SEGUNMANUEL on
Wow,
all platforms. You can shoot me a message anywhere. I have
wow.
content everywhere there.
Hmm.
Everywhere online, I have content
Amazing,
everywhere. And you
amazing,
can
man.
see all the stuff we're doing on Facebook, on YouTube,
Hmm,
wherever it is that you
hmm,
have people at.
hmm,
Everywhere you have customers at, we are
hmm.
there providing solutions
Wow.
to customer service. And if you want us to come train, you want us to do anything for your staff, for your organization, whether it's church, whether it's whatever it is, whatever industry, there's
Hmm,
something new that we can bring to your people. If you
hmm,
reach us, shoot us a message. We'll
hmm,
definitely get to you and help you improve. I told somebody this morning, I said, my
hmm.
name is Dr. Segun Manuel. I'm your customer service physician. I
Wow.
help you diagnose your customer service diseases and then
Hmm,
prescribe solutions to
hmm,
those diseases.
hmm,
If you take the solutions
hmm,
and as prescribed,
hmm.
your customer service challenges will be resolved.
Wow. 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 Listen, I'm impressed. I'm blown away. In fact, I was impressed before I brought you onto this platform. I was impressed by your work that I see every day on WhatsApp, on social media, on Instagram, on Facebook. You were live just a few minutes ago, weren't you? On Facebook
Yes,
as well.
sir. Yes,
You know,
sir.
oh my goodness. Oh my god. And the last time I brought you at a gig with Wisdom's conference we did, everyone was blown away. I was blown away. I was taking
Yes,
notes.
sir.
You're not just a customer physician, you are a great speaker. You know how to connect, you know how to share your thoughts and your opinion. Mate, listen, the world needs to hear you beyond just the king of West Africa. We want to see the king of the whole world when it comes to customer service. Listen, I'm championing your case. Well done, man. Well done. Well done.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for
Well done.
having me. I'm excited. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much. We hope to connect and do many more
Thank
things
you.
in the nearest future.
Thank you. Hey, that's it, guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining. And I will be sharing on the captions the details of Dr. Segun Manuel. Please get him around to do that work on your business, that customer service work, and checking it out. And we don't go to the doctors all the time because we're ill. We got to have that checkup done.
Sure.
Regular checkups. And
Sure.
this is what he does. Thank you, Dr. Manuel. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, guys. That's the end of the recording. And I look forward to seeing you at the next episode. Have a great one. Take care, guys. Hey.